Alright, this late night video I'm going to make, I'm going to discuss the foundations for a better society. And people talk so much about universal health care in a heavily multicultural, overcrowded country with a lot of crime known as the United States of America. And that won't work. But what I propose now as a solution to help make society better is give every person universal housing. Not in this country now. There would have to be a lot less people. I'm not talking about the United States as you know it, but living in a new country somewhere where depopulations happen. There's way less of the people. A lot of things need to be rebuilt. Carpenters wouldn't be paid for anything. Neither would electricians. Neither would electrical people. Neither would plumbers. It would all be voluntary, in exchange for living in the best society known to man. Not everybody has to be about capitalism. People could do voluntary things like that to make a living, but certain people could make money on other things like toothpaste and all that stuff. They would be very cheap. Anything you see for more money now would be dropped in half at the very least. Would be dropped to half the price or less. Anything high end you can think of. Think of a Louis Vuitton bag. Maybe you wouldn't have Louis Vuitton bags, but you would have stuff like let's see, just let's leave that as an example. Maybe certain material things you'd have to pay for, but they would be half the price or less. Like you go to a mall and pay $100 for a bag, or more than that, maybe $200. That bag would be $25. Let's say you go to a tobacco store, okay? Tobacco would be cheap, very cheap. Or it would be free maybe. If you took a tour of the factory, they could give you a bundle for free because everyone would just be in a given mood. Hey, they have their house for free. They feel good. They can give you stuff, They can give you stuff more, even though there may be some people who have the option to make money, a trade, a barter, or whatever the case may be. I want this society. I'm sick of paying for housing. I'm fucking sick of it to death. I hate overinflated rent costs, overinflated mortgage that people have to pay. Come on, to all you people paying, are you going to argue me on this? Wouldn't it be nice to have free housing and have more people be nice to one another in the society you're living in? Wouldn't it be wonderful? Wouldn't it be a godsend? And then universal health care could come after universal housing gets put into place. And there would be a lot less people. So do not mistake this as a solution for the United States as we know it now. It's not. It's in another world altogether. I want this for society. I want it for me. I want it for other people too. Let's just stop living in this oppressive society where everything costs so much money, this high unemployment, except for a handful of places now. And why should you pay for the essentials? You're entitled to a house, but you're not entitled to a car necessarily. I think you'd have to pay for a vehicle, but it would be cut in half or less. So everything would be affordable. Even if you had to pay, it would be so sickeningly affordable for some things that you may not need more than anything. You know what they say, take only what you need to survive. Well, the only things you need to survive are going to be free. A roof over your head. And some other essentials. Clothes, it depends what you buy. If it's basic clothes, they could be free. They could size you, you could get free clothes. But if it's something else that's more specialty, you'd have to pay. But again, it would be cut in half. Everything would be sickeningly cheap. and you just would have to, and that's it. And you could pretty much make it without paying for anything because you'll still be given things. They just won't be as fancy as the things you may have to pay for. But if you can't pay for them, you don't buy them. It's simple. But a lot of things are so ridiculously cheap. Would there be credit cards in this society? That depends. I don't know. I'd have to look at that at another date. Would there be currency like the U.S. currency? It would probably be altered. You'd probably pay with some other type of currency or something. Maybe if you, I shouldn't say there'll be a whole fresh batch of gold if all the gold has been picked already, but I don't know. I'd have to discover that at a later date, though. But I would say that with some kind of currency, you'd have to pay for some things. Um, but there wouldn't be a central government if it was a giving society in general. I mean, a central government's goal is to make money, is to regulate the money, and capitalism thrives under that. And that's it. And capitalism would be very, very minimized in any kind of society that I would ideally want to live in, like a utopia. It would be very minimized. Not saying it couldn't exist at all, but it would be so minimized that the extreme capitalists would feel oppressed, for damn sure. You're damn right about that. The filthy rich would not have a place in this society. They'd be run off the island if they tried their fucking shit. That's my take on it. And it's ridiculous though. I hate our current society. I want it changed. I'm only in a place to prolong everything because I'm not in as bad of an area as some other places in this country. But that's all it is. It's prolonging it. You move to a place where you can prolong it, but that doesn't mean it's never going to be there eventually. You're just prolonging it so you can survive a little bit better, you know. You move to an area where there's maybe lesser people. You move to a metro area where there's lesser people. Some that there are left, you know. Some people might go to Iowa. I happen to be in New Hampshire, but you know what I'm saying. The goal here is to just go where it's going to take a little bit longer, you know. The whole country's going to fall, though. There's no fucking doubt about it. But when it does, and when depopulation happens, I want so badly for there to be a society where you're entitled to a home, but if you needed a car, it would be really cheap, because I don't think you're entitled to a car unless someone wants to give you one, but you'd have the right to charge. That's what I'm trying to say for that. But housing, you would not have the right to charge. That is not profitable. There would not be any real estate agents at all. If they existed, it would be voluntary. If there were people showing a house, it would be voluntary. But if you were getting a house built for you, you could, there wouldn't be a need really for a realtor because it would be built for you. You pick the land, you'd have free land, you'd get a free house. I would love it. This would be a fucking great society to live in. Just think if you didn't have mortgage payments. Just think if you didn't. You wouldn't have to pay high energy costs, you know? It's your right to be comfortable. It's your right. Nobody should fucking charge you to be comfortable, right? Nobody should fucking be able to charge you for a roof over your head. There, that's it. You know, that's my fucking take on it.